I'm just kind of setting up here, so hopefully you guys will see me, or I'll see you as you join in. I just want to make sure that I am live right now. Okay, for some reason it wasn't showing up, but I think we're good now. Let's see. We don't have nobody yet. Oh, I'm getting a little worried. All right, give me just a second. I'm going to go over here and try to set this up real quick. Give it just a minute, see if we get any joiners. All right, all right, all right. All right, we got a couple folks in here. Hello, whoever you are. Oh, DIY audio guy, what's up? Byron Shambliss, what's up, guys? Just setting up here. Give me just a minute. Need some water. All right. All right, who else we got here? Third Air, what's going on? Scotty Mod, what's up, fellas? Okay, we're starting to fill out now. What you guys doing tonight? Anything big? I got so behind. I planned on having the sundown versus high Q on the 6.5, but I didn't finish the box. My garage door broke again. It didn't break, but the drums came off, came unwound. It's just been a disaster this weekend. Rockville Sam, what's up? Juicy Bass, H Town. Let me see here. Mia Hinsey, Jason Zymer, Basshead Go Boom. All right, man. The crew's assembling. Got Rockville Sam in the house and everything. Cool, cool. So, let's see. Oh yeah, for sure, Byron. I'm jealous, man. That thing is so dope. The if you guys didn't see it, here, let me share this. So our dude Byron, he ordered the pre-ordered the AD design or Audio Designs 1800.6. It's like 170 watts by 4 for the speaker channels, but then the sub channel's like 1,000 watts. Crazy, insane, man. Mount Townsend, what's going on? Cool. So tonight I got something. Our dude Jason, as he was nicknamed in the YouTube community comments, Jason Fire Zemer, or I think that's how it went, something like that. But he sent me a bunch of good questions. So as we kind of go on here, I'm going to answer some of the questions. If you guys have any questions for me, drop them in the chat, and I'll try to answer them as we go. So let me just start off with this first one. And this is one I get quite often actually. He says, I've noticed a few Hifivega original tracks like Vibin. How do you create these tracks and are they available for download? So those tracks I made, which if you guys are familiar with Apple products, you use it's called GarageBand. There's a bunch of live loops and stuff in there you can play with, and you could just do all kinds of crazy stuff. You can play like a MIDI keyboard, and you can just add to it, and that's what I use. I just use GarageBand on the iPad. Bunch of live loops. Added a few little sounds in myself, but that's how I made it. And I haven't made them available for download, but I can because I got them all on Dropbox. So anybody that wants any of those tracks that I've made, just hit me up, hifiveg@gmail.com, and I'll send you a link so you can download them and play with them. Now, the thing is, I quit using them as much on YouTube because there's people like, I don't know if you guys know about the seedy underbelly of YouTube, but there's people on like they'll get on Spotify with these tracks that they made using live loops like I did, but they'll claim that they're their original track. So if you have like one of the loops that they use, they try to demonetize or monetize your videos. So it's been a big nightmare. And I've been trying to just stick to the YouTube tracks where I can because some of them, they really hit you hard and heavy, man. And it's a nightmare. And basically, you have no recourse except to go through the YouTube review process. So let's see if we got anything in here yet. Oh, my dude, Jason Zemer, thank you. Sorry if I missed anybody. I'm trying to go back and read as I do this. 6-inch PVC port to fit in my burp box. It has two 4-inch ports in it. I need to do that myself with the Rockville. I still haven't. I need to make my box for the Rockville. I did do another quick run with the ISO in the S10 and with a less powerful amp, and you'll see a video on that later in the week. But yeah. All right, let's see. First album original tracks I've created all have keyboard and guitar sounds created with me and actual. Oh, nice, man. Nice. Uh yeah, I got a PayPal. Just it's I think I leave it in the description. It's like paypal.me/Hifivega, something like that. All right, let's go to the next one right here. So this is one like if you guys are animal lovers, you'll probably everyone's got that shop dog or that dog that sometimes you love the dog, sometimes you want to strangle it, but it is what it is. So Jason asks, he says, family's always important. I noticed the dog in the background in one of your videos. What's the dog's name and how does it react to some of the sounds from car audio? I have a dog and he is not into car audio. So our dog, she's a little bitty chihuahua. She weighs 4.5 pounds. Her name's Boo, and she is an absolute like she's just a ball of energy, man. You cannot slow her down. And she actually doesn't mind like cutting wood and sawing and all that stuff. But if somebody walks by, she is gonna bark incessantly, and I mean incessantly to the point where you gotta take her in. But like just basing out and all that stuff, she does not care at all. It doesn't bother her at all. Let's see. Oh man, third A trying to get it. Yo, what's up? Daniel Harrow, Chuck Miller, Greg Shookman. Oh yeah, you like that? I got that from my buddy. I ended up I tried him the big crossfire banner that I had for it. I don't know if you guys seen that. I wasn't big in my other videos, but when I was back in the spare bedroom, I had it up on a wall opposite of where you guys could see. So yeah, that's for sure. DIY audio guy, like, if they're small, she just barks and she is yeah. You gotta love her, but sometimes she gets on your nerves. Okay, Jason also asked, he said, I noticed you've used some sound deadening in your Suburban. I'm getting ready for a build in my 2016 Forerunner and looking for recommendation for sound deadening in a SUV. So for sound deadening, you're definitely going to want to use something with butyl rubber. You can use the asphalt based stuff, but it's cheaper. It's not as good. It doesn't stick as good, but I really recommend the NVX stuff from Sonic Electronics. It's really nice. It's like 90 mil, something like that. It's pretty affordable when you compare it to everything else. And then over that, you want to use like a MLV, like a mass loaded vinyl on top of it, and that'll help your panel vibration. So you kind of want like a two-layer approach. But in my particular build, I use the Sound Skins, which I believe is was bought by Mobile Solutions now, if I'm correct. And because there was like some issues with the USA and the Australia or whoever's manufacturing it. So now I believe that's Mobile Solutions, and I cannot remember the name. If you guys remember the name, drop it in the chat, and I'll share it. If I'm earning the nickname Fire, let it be El Fuego. Oh man, thanks. There you go. You wanna play the 30K tones, man. I can't do it. I just got, I got some wide bands in the Suburban right now, so it kinda limits me. I'm like, you know, I can get up there around 18K at the most, but, yeah. Let's see what, Edward do 100 laps around the couch is full of energy. Yeah, named him that would have been a good name, that would have been a good name for her. She is just she's something else, man, and if you got teenagers, like, they teenagers will train your dogs to be such little jerks. You have no idea. My daughter would just sit there and just bug and bug and bug Boo until I mean, yeah, she just teenagers can be jerks sometimes, but they'll definitely make your dog jerks. So my dude Jason says my dad helped me some woodworking when I was building my first sub boxes, and it's great bonding experiences. And we still talk about it 25 years later. I saw you got a helping hand from your son in the Savard ISO build. What are the teaching moments we can hand down to the younger generation of potential car audio crowd, and what can we learn from them? Some of those that we are mentoring. So, like Kyle, he is, believe it or not, he's not really into car audio, which is crazy. That's my son's name. He's Kyle. He's 16 now, and he still don't have his license. He's studying, got his driving permit, but yeah, he's working on that. He's not really into car audio, but he does like woodworking. So when I do projects like that, he likes to help out with that type of stuff. And my daughter now, she's 17. She does have a vehicle and she has a system in it. Some of you that are on Patreon already seen the video of her system, and she helped me put all that in. So she's into that. Woodworking, not so much, but she's into car audio. And I think what you can learn from the new people is the kids is just they got like an enthusiasm for it. And it's some of the stuff that you had when you first got into car audio and you were so excited to have this and that. And it's fun to see that in somebody, to be that excited to have, a system like, oh man, I got an amp. And I was telling her the other day, she's telling me like, I want more bass. And well, she's got a 600 watt, like, I can't remember the name of the amp. It was some amp Xera or something I got from Crutchfield. And I put it, and it's a 600 watt amp, but we're using it at 4 ohms right now, mono. And I just put an 8 gauge run of wire in there because I had a bunch of 8 gauge. I was like, hey, we're just gonna use it at 4 ohms and a couple 100 watts. And now she wants to upgrade, so I'm probably gonna have to throw 4 gauge in there at least if she wants to run it 1 ohm mono, and she wants sub. And I said, how big? She's like, as much as we could put in there. So we'll see. She drives a Trooper, a Zuzu Trooper. So maybe we'll put something big in there and see what it does. Let's see what else we got here. All right. So all right, okay. Our dude Jason again asks, your high five logo and stickers have a tight look. How did you come up with the design, and how many changes did you make? So when I come up with the design, you guys see, like, when I do my box designs or anything, I draw it out on paper, and I don't have the best drawing skills, but I just kind of, I have a vision of what I want to do in my mind, and I don't have the ability to turn that into an actual design on, like on a computer. I'm not good at SketchUp and that type of stuff. So basically, I sketched out like a rough idea of what I wanted, and I just went to Fiverr and I hired somebody to put it to use, to kind of put a pen into digital format so I can get a file that I can make my stickers and all that. And we probably went, because they always kind of do a spin on what you want, and I'm wanting to say, it was like $50, 50, $60, something like that, to get it done. But we went through like 6 revisions before we finally got it tuned out the way I wanted. But I always knew that I wanted the um and I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but the H inside of the V, that was to me, like, that was my an homage to the Sound Vega logo, which I always liked. If you've ever looked at the Sound Vega logo, it's kind of like a speaker basket as the V, and then the cone up top is the C. And I kind of wanted like an homage to that. So when I come up with it, I knew the H and the V would be, within each other, some similar to the Soma Vega logo. And then he actually, I wanted something that had to do car audio, and the guy that designed it actually kind of gave me the speaker idea of the radiating speakers coming out the way that they were. So that was something that he added that I didn't have in that way. So, it's good to collaborate sometimes. Let's see who we got. Bass Insane, what's going on, man? Yep, new I remember on the forums a new concept. It did do well. Let's see what. Yeah, for sure. I see that. And yeah, if they're just not into car audio, they're not into car audio. And it always seems to start with a love of music. So like if you got a love of music, you're going to want to do something a little more. And that's something like me and my daughter for sure. We were always like, this we love the same type of music. And actually Kyle, he's got his own style of music, but I do dig, he's big into rap, which I always liked rap when I was young, and even now. But I was into so many different things, but he's big into rap, so he gets all the new stuff I hear from him, if I hear it. Yo, what's going on, Chief 910? What's up? Let's see, John Wanamaker, what's going on? All right, cool. Now I think I got some more questions here. Okay. See, listen, man. I should have I should have invited Jason to be on here with me. He's a of a wealth of good questions, man. Yo, Matt Stark, what's up? Byron asked what I'm intending any shows in between now and the OSS meet. I doubt it. I wanted the last show I went to was the Slamley reunion, and that's only because it's like really local to me. And if you guys watch 12E Talk, you've probably seen JDR. He was on one of the shows, one of my best buds. He drove all the way up from Texas, hung out with me the meet. We went and ate dinner, and he drove all the way back home the same day. Actually, Rick Quattlebaum, he was up there too, and he didn't have time to go to dinner with us, but we met up there. We got to hang out and check out some rides and stuff. It's always a good time. Let's see. It's third, my wife likes music and all the small details in it, but hates anything louder than a whisper. She's a SQ. She's gonna compete in SQ, huh? Hear those breathy. It says dark audio out of business. Yeah, man, that's pretty sad, man. They made some nice stuff, and they may be coming back around soon. Who knows? Let me uh let me jump into some of this other questions here. So this one, he says, our buddy Jason Zemer again. He says wife advice. It says while constructing my test bench and installing my power supply, I inadvertently tipped or tripped and shut off the power strip feeding both my bench and the freezer in the garage. I managed to ruin everything in the freezer. My wife concerned about the project. Any advice? Yeah, so he's okay. Let me share my screen here just so you guys can see the picture here. We can get a little. Yeah, so man, you made that audio authority, it's I'm glad that you have the fire extinguisher there. That's definitely prudent to have that and at the ready. You might want to get a bigger service put in on your on your panel, because on mine, luckily for me, and I didn't even ask them this when they built the garage. I have plugs in different spot, and the one that I use in the garage for my power supply, that's got its own 30 amp breaker in there. So that's actually really awesome for me because you can get quite a lot of power out of that 30 amp, breaker right there. But yeah, you probably need an electrician to help you out with that. Yo, Nietzsche, what's going on? Let's see what it said. Let's see. I said my wife never understood my hobby. Then we stayed in an Airbnb and she could not watch TV because it sounded so bad. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt, man. Jay Taylor, what's up? Yeah, man, I actually like my TV situation's pretty dire right now. But I did do something to help it out. I picked up like Rockville's got a little $35. It's got two 3-inch drivers and a subwoofer, just like a little. It's not a sound bar because it's kind of. I actually did a review on my channel. I don't know if you guys seen it, but it's got a little. It's about this big, and I mean it for adding sound and bass. It did well. Let's go on to the next question here. Make sure I didn't miss any in the chat. Yeah, if you guys got any questions in the chat, man, just throw them up. Eric Dudley, what's up, dude? So let me go back down here. Okay, battery advice. He asked, I know you have some expertise in the battery industry. I'm looking for some advice on a test bench and the new build I'm working on. The test bench has a variety of 12-volt power supplies, including a 50 amp Tech Power and a 100 amp Audio Authority 978 classic one, and a 125 amp TDK. And I'm only looking to test amplifiers around 800 watts. Any advice? So the the Audio Authority, it'll be just fine. Or the TDK, the 100 amps, that'll get you 1,000 watts pretty easy. Um, Even you can stretch that out a little bit. I have a 125-watt Cosell or 125 amp Cosell, and it'll do 150 peak amps. But I've actually pushed it quite a bit past that, and it holds pretty steady, especially if you got some battery backups that you can use. You can put in line with it. I've got a couple of big Group 31 batteries if I need it to throw on top of it. But myself, I'm looking for I want one of those 80 amp lithium, like the custom electronics or custom electric sold, and now I think Wolfram is selling some like I'm for 9.99 on the pre-order. So I may get that in the future because I think that'd be a little bit better for me. Plus it's silent, so giving me that 80 amp hours, they say 8 to 10,000 watts. I'd be happy if I could test 4,000 watts. And for $1,000, that's to me, that's a good deal. Let's see here. The fire, the fire extinguisher goes. Okay, so um, any tips for affordable mic for my cell phone? I use a lapel mic with the. It depends on which cell phone you have. If you have an Apple cell phone, a newer one, you're gonna need something like this to use one of those little adapters. But I use one called the Purple Panda. You can get it for like $35 and it comes with every adapter and extension cable, everything you need. And the lapel mic sounds pretty good in my opinion, especially for the money. Oops. Let me see. I missed something here. Yeah. Yeah, Rockville Sam, he's talking about that little speaker. Let me tell you something, man. You hook it up to your like if you have bad sound on your LCD or whatever TV you have, and you hook it up, man, that thing sounds pretty good. You're not getting surround sound, but it boosts the sound and you definitely get some bass. Um, so Matt asked when and where is the OSS meet? The fall meet is in Texas. It's in Scurry, Texas. Um, I'll leave a link in the description of this of the Facebook group so you can see it better. But it's in Scurry, Texas, October 19th, which is a Saturday. Gonna be a lot of fun. I hope as many of you as possible can make it. If you make it to the meet, don't leave there. But if you see me, like drag me up, like, hey man, you need to listen to my ride because I want to listen to everyone's stereo. I don't care how big, how small it is. I want to check out your stereo. So just tap me on the shoulder. Even if I'm busy, I'll be like, hey man, I'll go check it out later. But don't let me forget because I forget stuff a lot. Yep. He says, best 30. You know what? Yeah. I think I paid like $35 ship for that little boom box, and that thing, it's pretty killer, man. I'm still, let's see what he says here. Cody, I'm still pushing 3 classic JL audios, 15 years old now. Man, the 12W7s, man, they're no joke. Even one single 8 is pretty serious to me. Looking for 112-inch sub, looking for 12-inch sub market around the $150 range. It depends on what you want, Chief. There's a lot of options out there. If you just want like the loudest sub you can get for the money, I mean, you might want to look at the K9, man. The K9, I know it's got some crap, but I've listened to one in a box, a single in a box that I have, and it's pretty impressive. Uh, say what you will, but another suggestion that I would have is uh depending on how much money you got, this like the Pro Series Savard. I really, really like that sub. It's not gonna play as loud as some of the other subs, but it's a really accurate sub, and it really just depends on what you want to get. But that's two of the ones that I suggest right now. Matthew Massey, what's up? Matthew Stark asked, do you use big resistors on your amp test bench? So I use breaking resistors, and they have silicon in them. I have a 1 ohm resistor that they're rated 1,000 watts. You could put 2,000 watts in them. They get hot, but they still take it. And I've got like 4 of the 4 ohm ones, and you can series those. You can parallel them down ever how you want. But that's what I use, and it's basically, if you've ever seen inside of 81, they're pretty much the same thing. Rockville Sam, you can use my power supply anytime you want, and only it's in New York. No doubt. So, are you talking about for your shop, Jason, or are you talking about for like videos type stuff? Let me know. Hit me up with another comment and let me know so you can. Jason asked, "What about lighting? Any recommendations?" So you can clarify that further in the comments. Yo, Bobby, what's going on? Juicy Bass. He says, "How long have I been collecting old school amps?" So the thing is, I'm not really collecting anymore, and I never when I got back into car audio, I hit the bug really hard, and it's all Derek's fault, like I said before, with his videos, and it got me into. I wanted every cheater amp because back in the days, I was the 0 to 50, 0 to 100 watt guy. That was where I lived. I wanted to be in there, and I just wanted to get every cheater amp I could. So that was what I was into. I had a ton of cheaters. Then I started doing the YouTube channel, and I decided like, hey, I have limited amount of space to keep these. I want to do the YouTube. If I can pass that joy on to somebody else that having these cheaters, I'll sell them, and it gives me a chance to get something else in to test for YouTube. So I don't collect so much, but I say that, but now I do have a bunch of. I got a ton of stuff just like right over here off camera that you guys can't see that needs to be tested and boxes built, and yeah, ask Derek. It's a problem. You pick some up, I'm gonna make a video on it, and who knows when you'll get it done. Let's see right here. We've got the USACI finals in Lawton, Oklahoma Sunday. I'll take a lot of pics. Or what do you say, Saturday? Oh man. If one's closer like that, I'd consider going to. But actually, this Saturday, my daughter's got a tournament up in Springfield, Missouri. So I'm going to be up there literally all day Saturday. Oh, man. That's going to be awesome, dude. I can't wait. The third era live in person with the Raiders cap. He's going to come from Cali to Texas. That's going to be quite a drive, man. Oh, yeah, right. How am I so cool? Check it out, man. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you're a nerd, as long as you just act like you're cool. Just act like you're cool. Who cares? Lots of good options. Oh, at the 150, the Dayton Ultimax. I have not used that subwoofer, but I want to. I definitely want to use that. Excuse me while I get some water. You have to talk so much, man. I'm used to normally I can just kick back while Derek kind of he just does his thing, gets into the stories, and I can kind of kick back and I just kick in when I need to. But a one man show, it's a little different. So check it out. I'm not gonna do a live stream without giving some of these away. So the first person in the comments that I see to name my last video will get one of those. If you hifivega at gmail.com if you get it. Let's see. I'm missing so many comments. Oh, my dude, Ed. What's up, man? That fool's been busy. Y'all seeing all them boxes he put out? Ton of them. Never enough money for all those cheater amps out there. That's for sure, man. Look, Juicy Bass. Big D got him too, man. So let's see here. King, he says, why do they say don't strap amps? It's like, to be quite honest with you, it's a little above my head. This is like a Showtime SPL thing to cover here. But I know that you never get your amps like to gain match amps. Even if you game match them perfectly, you're still going to have some variance there. And I can tell you from my experience, like doing Master Slave with 225s with the crossover cards, if you are not very, very careful, you can blow those amps so easily in that configuration. Let me see who got it. All right, all right, all right. 3,000 amp. You got nuclear? Okay, let me see here. Let's see here. I sound like my wife calls my friend Sanford, like Sanford and Son around the house, but it's all amps and speakers. Yeah, no doubt about that, man. All right. Got 4 power supplies, 750 each. Wow. Let's see. My daughter wants to go to the OSS Spring Meet 115 at Honda Civic. Here we come. Hey, man. Heck yeah. We're family friendly for sure. And my kids aren't going to be caught dead hanging out with me, but hey, that's what happens when they're teenagers, man. They got their own little lives, and it's so weird when they become teenagers because you don't even know what they're doing. It's like, hey, I'm leaving. Are you gonna be home for dinner? I don't know. Headphones video. Yeah, man, I've got so many pairs that I probably need to review. I'm just so far behind. They don't call me. I need more game, man, for nothing. I turn it up. Oh man, all right. So we've been talking. Listen, we're gonna have to do the BMX show, 12E Talk BMX show for sure. That's coming up because Derek, I want to show you guys something I've been looking at. Check out this. So see, Derek, he got the GT, but man, that thing still it's not cheap, man. It's about $500. But I've been just checking out like what's they make this in a 29-inch as well, and you can find it cheaper on Amazon. But check it out, man. This thing is so dope. Got the disc brake there. I mean, come on, man. I and I dig the colors on this. The black and gold. Now that seat, man, that seat don't look like it's gonna hold me, but I still I don't know, man. I'm digging it. What do y'all think about this one? Pretty sweet, if you ask me. Let me see if y'all had any comments about that. Oh, see? Ed, he just hit you up with modern amps and coils. There's no need to stramp amps anymore. Hey, he hit you with it, man. So, Michael Hemrick asked, is it possible to get more bass from one speaker than two, like with an 18 in the right box versus two 18s in a crappy box? For sure, man. If you have something built either to the specifications of the driver, or sometimes you build like basically a Burt box. So you might want to hit 40 hertz pretty hard because your resident frequency is around, say 30 hertz, but you peak after capping gain and all that. So that's your best bet. If you're wanting to just get the loudest, like for one note, or you're trying for SPL, you're going to build some type of Burt box. But in a right enclosure, one speaker could sound better than two, depending on what it is. And sometimes two speakers in a crappy enclosure will sound better than one speaker in a perfect enclosure. So it's kind of a toss up, man. And it depends. It's vehicle application. It's a ton of things. Let's see. Show, what's up? Derek, a lot of us want to. It says, Derek, a lot of us want to, but we're worried about breaking ourselves for sure, man. BMXing for life. Yeah, you should, man. Rebrand them. I guess it'd be Williston Audio now. Williston Audio certified. Yeah, see, that's why Derek calls himself a big dummy. He just gets it out of the way, so no one else could say it. Uh-oh. Sparked Innovations reactive dummy loads coming in 2020. Dude, I might need some of those. Um, you know what? Uh, Jay Taylor asked about it. Has anybody seen I guess it would be Wild subs? What's the deal with them? They sell them on eBay, and I think they sell them on Amazon. They're purple. And you know what? I'm gonna I'm gonna get on a show because I'm curious about these as well. That's weird that you asked about them because I've had these on the watch list forever. I just hadn't pulled the trigger on it. If I'm wanting to say, if I'm right, Jay Taylor, is it like $94 shipped or $100 shipped for a 12, something like that? Give me a second. I'll pull it up and share my screen. It's just gonna take forever. Sorry. Looking through eBay watch list. There's also another sub that I'm curious about. It's a little 6.5. It's a little custom sub. It's the Ultra Audio 6.5. You guys heard of that? It's like $45. Matter of fact, I got it right here. Let me share my screen here. All right. Have you guys seen this sub? This is the Ultra. I don't know, man, but it looks beef. Look at that thing. It looks pretty dope, man. For $45 and shipping to me is 18, so you're still $63. I like it, man. I got a thing for 6.5s, 6.5 inch, 8-inch subs. Don't ask me why, but I do. Let me see if anybody. All right, I'm trying to get caught up here. I'm so far behind. All right, so I'm still looking for that sub. Give me just a second. If I find it. Nope, that's not it. All right. What's going on here? I know I have it in my save list. I do not know where. Give me just a second, fellas. I'm going to find it because I really want to know if you guys have seen this subwoofer. It's got a purple basket. Let's see. There you go. Big D about to get the padded seat, man, for sure. Schwinn Predator. Yeah, that's dope. Rob on the big three, what size fuse do you run to on the power to the alt? Um, Team no fuse. I didn't put a fuse there, man. I don't recommend to do it like that, or I don't recommend to do it one way or the other. I didn't do it myself, so my alt. So he's asking what size alt for Bobby. Mine's just a stock 145. It's not crazy here. Oh, no, but I've been watching for the Sundown, the Salt amps. They are doing crazy, crazy numbers with that stuff, man. Insane. That's what they ask for, you know. People, they want it to be underrated nowadays, and sometimes you got to give them what they ask for. I swear I'm gonna. If I don't find this sub, man, I've wasted so much time just sitting here looking for it. And you guys are probably way over this sub now. You're tired of even thinking about this sub, and you haven't even seen it yet. And once you do see it, it's going to be disappointed. I'm just telling you. But I'm curious about it. And if I can't find it, this is going to be bad. This is not good. Good YouTube in here. Of course, I'm on page 8, fellas. Page 8. I've only got 2 more pages on the watch list. I must find this. It might be in the ended. Who knows? Come on. Oh! I found it. I found it. And it has ended, but let me click it anyways. Okay. What? All right. We will share the screen. Let me go down here and see where you guys are at. All right. Here it is. Here it is. Have you guys seen this sub? I mean, I can't say I'm hating on the purple basket, man. I actually think that's kind of cool. I mean, basically, it looks like a cheap sub. It's definitely a cheap sub. I don't know what size coil it has. But who is this brand? Do you guys know who it is? The CXL 12? Who makes this? Let's see if it says. Now here's the thing. Check this out. So they rate a little weird 1800 watt peak momentary power, dual 2 ohm. So I'm assuming if they say 1800 peak, it's probably 900 RMS or 600 RMS, 1200 watts max. Let's see. 2.5-inch voice coil. That's decent. It's not terrible. Who is selling this? And I don't know. Let me see if you guys have seen that. Marky Mark sub. Yeah, Chief, man. You got it. I forgot I even asked that question. Send me an email, 12v talk, or not 12v talk. God, hifivega at gmail.com. And I'll send out your sticker, man. Yep. Bobby, you got it too, man. You send me, I'll send you one too, man. Send me an email, hifivega at gmail.com with your shipping address. I'll drop one in the mail. Jason Zemer, I'm going to box your amp up tonight. I'm going to box it up tonight so I don't forget, and I'm going to ship it out, man. I keep forgetting. I'm terrible. Um, Jason Zemer says he likes supporting the small guys that actually care about karate applications. What about Omi? He wants one. Jason Zemer's the man. They do audio at SEMA for sure. Basshead go boom. Yep, they do some audio. I I I believe that there is. And you guys don't already have a booth. You need a. So what you do, Ed? Go ahead and get the Sparked Innovations booth. Invite me and Derek up. We'll do a live 12v talk. Ed is the third chair. We'll do it up, man. I wanted to be on the big stage at some point. Might as well do it now. Do it while Derek's in his prime. Take a walk on the wild side. All right, let me see if I got any more questions. Sorry, I just got done with the support about the 300. Haha, no booth. I am walking the show though. Oh man, get that booth. Let's do it. All right, so let me see here. We got a few more questions for from Jason, and then we'll wrap it up. He asked about a dummy load bank advice. I'm looking to add a resistor bank for testing. I've seen some of Parts Express that look similar to what you have that are 4 ohms, 200 watts each. I'm looking to get 4 so that I can test a variety of ohm load configurations. So we kind of already talked about this before. The just the regular, they're called braking resistors. They're pretty cheap. They handle a lot more power than what they say. You get them on eBay if you're willing to wait for them to come from China. Um, but yeah, you get them pretty cheap, and they handle a lot more power. They handle at least double what they say, and I can tell you that for sure because also got some 500-watt ones that I've put 1,300 watts on. So shouldn't be hard at all. Wow, 5K. Wow, dude, that's crazy. Mark, what's going on? Mark in the house. All right, cool, man. So I got one more question. Then, if you guys got any more questions for me, I can answer those. Then I'm gonna sign out. I'll answer this question and I'll kind of tell you what I got going on as far as YouTube. And I've got something coming up Friday that you may or may not want to join in on. So uh he says another hi-fi YouTube is the old intro, make the ground shake, a hi-fi original. I think it's awesome. Why don't you use it anymore? So that is not a hi-fi original. That is actually one of the I forget the channel. I know I left it in a link in some of my older videos, but there's a channel that does copyright free music, and it was one of those. So I used one of those when I made the intro, and kind of synced it up to the movement of the Still Got It. I still may use it, but yeah, that was probably one of my favorites. And maybe I need to throw it back. I've been kind of playing around with the intros here lately, so yeah, that's not a Hifivega original. But if you look at my older videos, there is a link to this in the description to what song that originally come from. Yes, yes, he says they get hot as hell, so you need to be careful. So I got a story about those getting hot. I don't know if you guys seen. I made a small resistor bank that had 100-watt loads on it, and I made that so I can test 5 channels easily. And I think I've got 8 or so resistors on there, 8 or 12, something like that. But anyways, I was using them pretty extensively on the Sony Big Red, and I smelt something, man. I couldn't place it. It smelled like wood burning, and I mounted those resistors to an MDF panel, and for sure they burnt the MDF panel, like it burnt up underneath the resistor where I mounted it. And even though I smelled that, I went ahead and I said, I think this one's hot. And I put my hand on it. I put my finger on it, and I swear to you, man, that thing burnt the fire out of me, man. It was hot. It's one of those things where you know you're doing something stupid, but you're doing it anyways, and somehow you can't stop yourself from doing something stupid. It's one of those moments like, I know I shouldn't be doing this, and I touch it, and boom, instant. Like, hey, you're stupid. Don't do that. Larry Link, let's dyno a PPIA 1200. Has Derek not dynoed one of those? I thought he had one. Sometimes, sometimes Derek will dyno stuff and he just ain't got the video up yet, or something happened. Let's see, who makes a good quality efficient 1 ohm stable mono block ND 500 to 100-watt range, 1000-watt range? My advice for that is going to be like Pioneer. Pioneer is such a hidden gem in new car audio. Their stuff performs beautifully. Kenwood does too, but I like the Pioneer stuff. You're not really going to go wrong, even with their cheaper lines. So if you're looking to stay on a budget and have something that's nice and it's not going to fail, check out the Pioneers. Uh, Bobin, I haven't made any tracks in a while, but like I said, if you guys want to download the tracks I have made, just hit me up with an email and I'll send you some links to them so you guys can download them and play with them at your leisure. Let's see. Oh man, Jay Taylor. So she's getting the 15-inch purple. That's what got her, man. She probably should have got the low baller. I mean, you know, and I know, but that purple got her. So I, I'm sure you won't be disappointed with that subwoofer because I'm sure you got it pretty cheap, but you probably would have been better off with the low baller for sure. I like the he says Matthew Massey, I like the current intro. Everyone else does a variation of the same thing. Thanks, man. I like it too. I kind of mess around with it. And they call me El Fuego. uh Bobby, Big Red is fixed and it's in the Suburban right now. It's in there in a temporary setup. I'm not sure what I want to do in the Suburban right now, so I don't even got subs in. I'm just kind of I've got the Big Red in there. I've only got 300 watts to play with on the sub channel, 300-ish, 350 watts, but I just kind of threw it in there and I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do in the Suburban yet. I'm kind of tied up in 10 other things at the time. There you go, spicy resistor. Indeed, it resisted the I should have resisted the temptation to touch it. Let's see here. Yes, have I seen that someone is selling the bowling amps online? Yeah, man. What I can tell you about that is you may get lucky and have a nice bowling amp, one that was meant, but my advice would be don't buy a bowling amp unless you know what you're getting into because I know people have had problems with those, and I've had people tell me they've tested them and got lower power at 2 ohms and they did 4 ohms, and yeah, just a big thing. Let's see here. So Mark asks, he says, "Do I have custom pods or kick panels in the Suburbans for your comps?" No, I have. If you know how like 2000 to 2006 Chevy is, the doors, there's there's a panel inside the door card, but then there's the 6.5 sits back on the metal. So I have my 6.5 there, and then the panel on the door card, I replicated that, and I have my 2-inch wideband. I've got it sitting in there, and I've got a shim, like an angled shim that I cut on my bandsaw, so I could tilt it up to get it up higher. But yeah, yeah, man. Top shelf innovations. What's going on? Yeah, man. It's got the disc. I still haven't used it though. I need to use it. Check that out. You know what? If I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna make a video, and if I have something hooked up backwards, man, I am the dummy of the year. If I did that, but I could possibly have something hooked up backwards. Who knows? Oh, Big D throwing shade, man, throwing shade. But I agree with him 100%. That's a. You know what? I don't get to say a lot, but Big D, man, I absolutely love Big D. He's such a he's such a good dude, man. The guy is so he's one of the most generous guys I've ever met, and one of the most selfless dudes I've ever met. So, if you guys don't get a chance to actually see that side of Big D, I mean, he's awesome, man. And I don't get to say it enough on 12V Talk, so I'm gonna say it here to all of you. Let's see here, Bobby, what's going on? Same checker I have. One of my go-to tools. You know, the polarity checker, I need to use it because I could have something hooked up backwards. I end up using some Phoenix Gold 14 gauge wire that I had when I hooked it up, and it's a lot old school. And the thing with that is the writing on it is so fine that you can't always see it. So I marked it with tape. I don't know. I might have something hooked up backwards. Who knows? So what's going on with 12E Talk? What's up? It Yeah, man, listen. We have plans for this week. Actually, I drew a doc up. I can't even remember what it was, something about ant testing, but I'm not sure what we're going to use yet. So it's a mystery. Come Wednesday, you'll know. Maybe Tuesday. Uh, yeah, we're last minute with that, but um, I am going to be doing something Friday. So I did want to mention this before I get off. Let me get a drink of water first, though, because I've been talking a lot. Okay, so Friday, I'm doing old school 20 questions again. If any of you guys want to be on it, I've already been on my Patreon group and I've asked a few of those guys and they've agreed to be on the third era. He's said he can possibly be on. So hopefully we see him. We're gonna have my buddy JDR, old school fanatic. The dude's freaking clowned me. Listen, him and Brad clowned me on that last one. I'm gonna be more prepared this time. I'm gonna have like 5 or 6 things in my pocket, ready to go. So, old school 20 questions. If you guys dig that, if you want to be on, send me an email, hifivega@gmail.com. I want at least 3 people on, probably at least 3, maybe 4 or 5, a maximum of 5. So if you want to be on Friday, 7:30 Central Standard Time. So if you want to be on, hit me up. You need a mobile phone with headphones, or you need a laptop with headphones and a mic of some sort. Or you can just use your laptop with the built-in webcam and the built-in mic. That should be fine. Same with your cell phone. It's pretty easy. I will send you a link and you can open it up. If you have an iPhone, it'll open up and play in Safari. If you have an Android, it'll open up playing Chrome. And if you're using a laptop, it'll have to be in Chrome. It works best in Chrome. So, yeah, hit me up. High5egg@gmail.com. Old school 20 questions. We're just going to, yeah, man, it's a good time. It's a game show. It's not really a normal live stream like this. or a normal live stream that I do anyways. It's more of a game show vibe. Maybe I'll put the tie back on. Maybe I'll get the tie on and I'll have like something. I'll do something. I'm gonna try to do my best, Monty Hall. So let me see here. Mark, he finally grabbed a DD-1, made a bit of improvement, setting my gains. The DD-1, the DD-1, it is expensive. I'll say that straight out the gate. $150. It's pretty expensive, but you can set a gain very quickly with the DD-1, and you're going to be almost dead accurate to what you'd be, using something else, So the DD-1, it's perfect for me. It's fast when I'm setting up an amp. I can't recommend it enough, even if it is $150. Let's see what else we got. So Eric Dudley says that Rockford told me that all their coaxes had the tweeters wired backwards. I wonder why that is. I set gains with Lummy, cheaper than DD-1, but a bit hard to read the display. Yeah, I mean, most people set their gains by ear. You can do that as well. I mean, if you got a decent ear and you can tell when it's clipping, it's fine. As long as you don't crank them. Yeah, man. Bob Barker, let's do it. Yeah, for sure. I mean, and even Rockville Sam says DD-1's good if you don't have a scope or a scope meter. Even using an O scope, it's depending on the resolution of your screen and stuff, it can be a trying thing. So the DD-1 is more of a tool for a professional and a beginner in this way. The professional can just get it done fast. They set the gains quickly, they're done, they're ready to move on to the next thing. Beginner, it's just simpler. You hook it up, you see the light, you say, "Oh, it's solid red." I back it off a little bit, see some flickering red. You're kind of on the edge, so it's good. Oh, Mike Danner says he wants a DD-1 Plus. I think that is cool too. It's got the screen, and I know it's got a few extra features. I'd like to have that as well. Let's see. The DD-1 Plus is worth the extra dollars if it's available in stock. I've had mine for years. It's been flawless, except I made a nicer set of test leads for it. So I had to on my AM1. I don't know if you've seen in my videos. I've had to put like some heat shrink on mine because the wire is starting to separate. Yeah, for sure. Rockville Sam says the DD-1's a bit expensive. I can't argue with that. It could be cheaper, and Derek and I always talk about we would like to have the one tool, like the one tool to rule them all for like under $1,000 preferably, and it has everything built in, the ISMG, the whole kit and caboodle. That'd be nice. All right, man. So yeah, if you guys want to be on old school 20 questions, hit me up, hifivega@gmail.com. It's gonna be a good time. You don't have to be perfect. Your setup doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have perfect lighting. Go back and look a lot of my videos, especially some of the early live streams. Just have your phone, sit in a place with somewhat decent lighting, and you'll be okay. So, yeah, I love to have you guys on. Should be a good time. And yeah, David Carter, what's going on, man? You just got here. I'm just signing off. So, yeah, fellas, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I didn't have a regular video this week, but things happen. I hope that I don't have to miss next week, but I've got something in the works, so I hope that I can get that edited up in time. I'm gonna be gone all day Saturday, so that's gonna put me a little behind. But yeah, if not, we're still having old school 20 questions Friday, 7:30. Be there or be square. So all right, man. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Bye.